Within just the last few hours, head coach Brian Daboll was fired from the New York Giants. Now, I look at it from a few different angles. The first angle I kind of look at it as is it probably makes sense. This isn't Brian Daboll's first or second year in New York. In fact, it's not even the first or second year that this has been a disappointment. I think I saw something that this is the third straight season that the Giants have started 2-8. It's just a bad recipe to not only be hopefully a successful team, but a team that's trying to make the playoffs. Now, I don't think the Giants were a team trying to make the playoffs, but I do think they came into this year with higher expectations than a 2-8 start. To give a little bit of slack to Brian Daboll, I do want to point to the injury report for just this last game. Now, this doesn't even include the fact that Malik Neighbors is out, Cam Scadaboo is out, many other starters were out of this game on Sunday due to injury. And on one hand, I somewhat want to give Brian Daboll some credit because he knew there needed to be a change after that Week 3 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, where we saw Russell Wilson basically throw the ball out of the back of the end zone 4 times in a row while down 2 scores. Brian Daboll knew a change needed to happen, and I think he has done a pretty good job of orchestrating that change and making sure that actually took place. You look at what the Giants' offense has done since Jackson Dart started. They've scored over 20 points in all but one game. They've won a couple of games, which comparatively, that's a pretty good thing to say about the New York Giants. There's multiple games where they're scoring 30 points. I think, honestly, the thing that's somewhat holding back this team from getting more wins is defensively, they're just allowing more points than the offense is scoring. But again, to somewhat be fair, this is with a rookie quarterback who just lost his number one receiver, who was one of the best receivers in the NFL last year as a rookie. He just lost his rookie star running back who had scored 7 touchdowns in the span of, I believe, 5 or 6 games. And we're getting contributions from guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, who is over 600 yards this season. It already is nearing his career high that he set last year with 699 yards. You look at the year that you're getting out of Theo Johnson. Again, it's kind of the defense, I think, at this point that's somewhat holding this team back, minus Brian Burns' 11 sacks, because that is just absolutely, that's crazy. And so now I kind of wonder, like, what are the expectations now with Mike Kafka in as the interim head coach? What exactly are we wanting to see? Are we wanting to see more wins? Because that doesn't really make sense. Are we wanting to see an improvement from the offensive players? Because I think it's hard to want that when the guys you want on the field are injured and aren't going to play until next year. Is it that you want to see a defensive improvement? Well, I think that makes sense. Outside of Brian Burns, there really has not been many guys that have given this team great production. Right now, they're 27th in scoring. They're 29th in yards allowed. They're 23rd against the pass and 31st against the run. And this is with a defensive coordinator in Shane Bowen, who last year, it wasn't as bad as it was this year. I mean, they were 8th against the pass last year. They were 27th against the run, and it's only gotten worse on that side of the ball, despite the fact that they added a lot of talent year over year. And so I don't necessarily know if this was a move that makes 100% sense. I think this was a move that a lot of people could actually see coming. But again, this was a team coming into this year that didn't have high expectations outside of probably what was inside of their building. And I think, again, to be somewhat fair to Brian Daboll, I mean, this is a front office that over the last year and a half, basically, they allowed Saquon Barkley to walk in free agency after they gave Daniel Jones a massive 4-year, $160 million contract extension. They signed Russell Wilson to be the apparent franchise quarterback while Jackson Dart has his rookie season. You know, he gets to develop under Russell Wilson and what have you. But it's kind of just like the product that's happening on the field is only a byproduct of what's going on in the front office. And if you're looking at this team and you're looking at the losses that they've had and you're looking at the players that they've lost, I mean, it doesn't just stop at Saquon Barkley. It's Xavier McKinney, who led the NFL in interceptions the year after he left the New York Giants. Julian Love left the New York Giants and became one of the best safeties in the NFL with the Seattle Seahawks just a short time ago he left. And some of the other contracts that had been given out by the Giants in the Joe Schoen era, not to mention some of the draft picks, and again, all of the injuries that have happened to the New York Giants for their football team. Again, it's just kind of like, I don't fully believe that this was all on Brian Daboll, this 2-8 start. And I think he's going to get a job next year as an offensive coordinator or possibly even a head coach. I think this was a guy who really got a lot of credit for the emergence of Josh Allen as a franchise MVP caliber type quarterback in Buffalo. And he was tasked to do the same thing with Daniel Jones. And for a short part of this season with Russell Wilson. And last year, he had guys like Tommy DeVito throwing the ball for him. And so, again, I've said a lot already in this video, but I think it's hard for me to blame Brian Daboll for all of what's happened to the Giants this year and for the previous 3 seasons. But again, this is a move that I think you could see coming and probably a necessary change. That's going to be today's video. Tomorrow, we're going to have power rankings out. I've been pretty light with the videos, I feel like. So I'm going to try to lock in here and get out as much content as I can. If I could get something up every single day for the next week or so and start a little streak, that'd be great. If you have a certain team, certain player, certain whatever you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.